This message is for that school in your district, that school that eventually is identified in every district. You know that school that serves that population, that demographic. You know, those kids who live with those families on that side of town. And that side of town has a variety of different names I've experienced. You know, this side of Terra Boulevard, Trailer Park kids, the Section 8 Homes kids, Colony West, South Side, Back the Bridge, East Side. I worked with a district recently that has 3 elementary schools in their district, and I stopped and asked them about perceptions, and it took a few seconds. It was an awkward silence for a while, but then eventually someone piped up and said, school number 1 over there, that's generational poverty. School number 2, that's working poverty. And school number 3, we call that school tablecloths, because the kids eat at tables with tablecloths. And so everywhere I go, towns large or small, we identify that school. I've had the honor of working with hundreds of schools and thousands of teachers, teams, and leaders at that school in every corner of the country, every nook and cranny of North America. And by and large, what I find is this: staff there are made up of educators and support professionals that are working hard. They're given Herculean effort. They're expending tons of energy. They're involved in frenzied activity, but most of the time only yielding marginal results. Those repeated cycles of not getting the results that are commensurate with your effort begins to chip away at the collective efficacy of staff and further embeds the negative perception of the school in the staff's DNA. Having worked with that school all over North America, I've experienced so many stark and amazing differences in those schools. Sometimes there are cultural differences, racial differences, ethnic differences, regional differences, differences in values depending on the community you're serving. But you know what? There are 2 things all of those schools have in common.